One. Ladies and gentlemen, another episode with the journey of Mia. The journey of Mia is a goalkeeper from Milwaukee, am I right?
Yep.
And going into Marquette University as a freshman. Are you still right now at Marquette or are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at Marquette right now.
Okay. So this an episode before we started, we laid out, and I kind of hope you'll agree to do it one more time, Mia, to give the lay it out, and then we'll both know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so here it is. It's Mia Hurd, Hurd, a, a spectacular goalkeeper with a sense of realistic goalkeeping magnificence to understand that you can put a great effect upon your the game and your team if your skill level and in-game intelligence is at a high level. Would I be 90, 95, or 100% correct?
Yeah, I think 100% correct.
All right then. So then we met through the unbelievable guy. People still don't believe this. Their jaw drops when Stan Anderson says he had 700 goalkeepers at a goalkeeping camp shutout.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that's so many, but like it's such a good community that he built through that.
Yeah, man. And you were with the winter season with a partner of his as the goalkeeper of the camp, correct?
Yeah, I did the Frozen Road shows that were in Michigan. I did those this year. No, yeah, this past year and then the year before, and then I did go to the big show once.
Right. And so that I say that not to uh, pump up Mia. You know, she's got high level of confidence uh, in herself, but to say when you have that 700, but you had several hundred goalkeepers around you that you were visibly the best of the best who was judged and picked by goalkeepers who know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there you go. Now, did you have to go to Marquette and say, "Hey, please, please, please get me," or did they come out looking for you?
Um, I think they started recruiting me like after my junior year, like my high school season, like when they can't, no, my sophomore year high school season, like when they could. And I didn't originally commit. I originally committed to Indiana, but then kind of that fell through. So then they still like they wanted me, and when I came on my visit, like I knew like this is the place I wanted to be, surrounded by these people. Like the academics are amazing. The soccer is everything. So I think like it was very much mutual and like they wanted me, but I wanted to be here just as much.
Nice, nice. And you live very close to Marquette.
Yeah, I grew up like 30 minutes north of Marquette, so it's really nice being so close to my family, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And just under full disclosure, uh, back in the 70s, they had a basketball coach, Al McGuire, and Marquette went to the Final Four and so forth and so forth. I think they might have won the NCAA Division One. I'm not sure, but the deal was that they were really something, and they had great looking uniforms and stuff. Do they still carry that tradition of having great looking unis?
I think so. I think if we're talking basketball, I think I really like their uniforms. I think they have like a light blue, and then I think they have a white. And I really like those. But then I also think our soccer uniforms are pretty cool too. Like same kind of color scheme. So yeah.
Right, right on. And is Milwaukee, excuse me, is Marquette in downtown Milwaukee?
Yeah. Pretty much like right in it. Like you have to drive a little bit to get like to the third ward, but like pretty close.
All right then. What What are you talking about? The third one?
The third ward is just like a part of Milwaukee that we're really close to.
Oh wow. Okay. That's a geography lesson here. We learned a little something. So let's
Yeah.
get yeah. So here we are back in soccer, and the reason why I reached out to you is that because of your genuine humility and just graciousness from our first episode. Because Stan Anderson, you know, if he gave you a heads up, then you're good for me, and you were great, and I enjoyed it. And then it was a kind of like a dream, that you see a lot of reality shows and so forth, and but to get somebody right there, a freshman, to the big show, and not Stan Anderson's big show, but the college D1, bang, you're there. You're in a Milwaukee has a verifiable soccer history. So you got to have game, and you're there. And I, at Well Certified, we want to see what it's like, behind the curtain type of thing. And you were so gracious enough to accept. And so that was the reason why I do it. And we talked right at the start of this episode to say, hey, I really like this because it's going to help you, and it's going to help the goalkeepers that are behind you yet to come, and even help the goalkeeper, just help goalkeepers in general. And there you are. And so this is all about being Wales certified, and that I know that it's a lifetime. You're in the Wales Certified Hall of Affinity. And
Thank you.
yes, yes, you always been.
A great place to be.
That's right, sister. And so now, what I described, is that basically what you signed up for?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think just thinking about the podcasts and like doing them, I think I've become more confident in like myself talking since the first one. And this is like such an amazing opportunity to like for myself, but also like you said, like to share my story and to maybe help other goalkeepers or like goalkeepers who want or who aspire to play Division 1 soccer, and kind of sharing my journey in that way. But I think like above all else, like I also just really enjoy talking with you and doing these podcasts with you. So that's another big reason why I do it.
All right, all right. So here we go. You're there, you already know you passed the test, so forth, so forth. Now you had to make a decision, because that I know that a lot of life is about decisions. And sometimes you can you know, make decisions that you just know it's part of you. And other times you have to make a decision, you have to pause and reflect to make the right decision at the right time in the right way. And so there you are. You say, they say, hey, you want to stick around, or you want to go early to get a heads on, get a heads above, get a foot, in front of somebody. And you chose to bypass the senior, most of the senior year to go up to Marquette and to start school and do a little training there. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I did. And I'm really happy with my decision. Like, I think I was really nervous to come early, and like it was kind of something that I was like back and forth on, like, do I really want to like give up my second semester senior year of high school? But like now, like I feel like I've grown so much, not only as like a player, but like as a person too. And I love the people here and like my teammates. So I'm really happy with my decision.
Well, under full disclosure, you have a little bit more bass in your sound. Uh, when you first, your first words, hi, and it's just, you're so there. But it seems like now you say, hey, I'm not here. Somebody didn't, but I belong here. I'm here because you want me here, and I'm bringing full Mia Hurd, and it's breathtaking to hear and to see, and you agree that your uh, maturity has really gone to the roof.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, don't ever lose that. That's great. So there you go. Now you already know the schooling. You have kind of like the rhythm down, how it looks, how you got to get up and do this and that. And about your study, do you have a favorite place to study at?
We have like a in the Al McGuire Center actually. There's Eagles Nest, which is like a place where student athletes go, and they like some teams require you to get like study hours. So I like to study there because I get my hours there, but I think it's also just a good place to study. But I so there's some other buildings on campus, like the business building. I've gone and studied there a few times with teammates and friends, and I like going there to study too.
Yeah. So that because that's very important to you and to your position, to your game, is that you have to maintain that scholarship, that that thought process, and and to prepare yourself for after soccer.
Yeah, 100%. I think a big thing for me has always been like I want to be a great like player and I want to play for as long as I can, but like at the end of the day, like there is a time where you can't play soccer anymore. And like I don't like to think about that, but it's gonna happen. So I want to be like prepared, and I want to go into like a field that I enjoy, that I know I can like after I'm done with soccer, like be happy with and like find fulfillment in my job.
Yeah, because there is a difference between a job and a career, you know,
Hmm.
and, and so here you go. You got that. Now you come up with that soccer. And you know going in that you're going to have to make quicker decisions. You're going to have to get your footwork quicker to get into position. And that ball, P shot, P shot. I mean, those shots are coming at you pretty fast, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot more intense than it was at like the high school or even club level.
Yeah. And that brings me into uh, the thought process, if it is, or a review, or what would your recommendation be? Is for someone to say, hey, instead of going straight into a 4 year school and maybe, waiting your turn, doing this, ba ba boom, ba ba bang, is going to a real good JUCO school and team that has that to start there, to go there for 2 years and get what you need to get and then go on. What's your thoughts of that?
Um, I think it depends on like what you want. I think that is like a really great option. Like if you don't feel like you're 100% ready for like college soccer, like NCAA, like or like Division 1, or like you're not at the place you want to be at the time. I think going to a JUCO and getting like more development and like becoming more confident in as you're like as a player is a really great option for a lot of people.
Nice. Well said. And I'm telling you, man, what you said, and see if that's what you wanted to portray or to make give your message across, is that you talked about that confidence that because you look in the mirror, you know if you got it or not. And if you don't have it, don't hide from it. Work on getting it. But you looked in the mirror and said, I'm ready. I'm ready. There's nothing that the sky's the limit, you know. Yeah. Mia Hurd.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right then. So the whole story goes is that you're there with so you made you, the right decision for you. You made the right decisions so far for you. And is that what you take in the thought process of what is it for you to make that decision? Because you bring yourself everywhere you go. And so are you doing something that you want to do and you know that someone like you can achieve what you're doing?
Yeah, I think like I always wanted to play Division 1 soccer, and I never really envisioned myself going early, but when like it was brought up to me, I was like, wait, this is an option for me. And I think like the biggest thing with that is, and like this is like for anyone too, like you're never really gonna feel ready to like go, but like sometimes you just need to be like brave, and you have to be like, I'm just gonna do it. And then once you're in it, you're gonna love it.
Wow. One of the biggest things to learn, I'm learning just recently, is to say, if you don't feel like you're in over your head, get the hell out, man. Because you got to, that's the feeling for success, man. To make it, you got to, if you're just, going at it, you're going to be mediocre. But you got a prize in over your head.
Right. Yeah, I love that.
All right, then. And so here we go. Oh, I got to ask, man. Have you or someone that is your guardian is watching out for you, your counselor, saying about any hazing that goes on? Are you safe from any of that?
Yeah, no, we don't have any hazing here. So it's good.
Yeah, was that something that you and the people that are concerned about you looked for and wanted to get a confirmed answer to?
Um, Not really. I think like coming here, like we knew like everybody here was had like my best interests at heart, or in their mind, and like my parents trust me to make good decisions, and I trust myself to make good decisions, and like I do feel that here, like everybody here does have my best interests at heart, so like we take care of each other, so it was never really like a concern or an issue.
Right, right. And you know the avenues how to get out of it if it occurs.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how about this soccer? Do you are the gloves good for you at Marquette? Are the boots good for you at Marquette? Any of the goalkeeping gear that you wear, is it good for Marquette?
Yeah, definitely. I like that we're like Marquette is like Nike, so I've always worn Nike cleats, so I like that I get to keep that going. And then they kind of let me pick like whatever gloves I want to wear, like within like the like limits. But yeah, no, it's awesome.
All right. And do you have to? They say, hey, these are the one pair you're gonna have to wear for 4 years, or they give you, they understand that the gloves get beat up.
Yeah, no, they'll get me new ones when I need them. So that's a very good thing because my gloves get beat up pretty bad,
Oh yeah,
very quick.
yeah. And what is your remedy? Uh, do you have a game pair and a practice pair, or do you have one pair?
Um, I kind of just have one pair, but um, like we haven't played like a lot of games so far this spring. Like the spring was mainly like practice, and like now we're getting into games towards like the end of it. So I've worn like a new pair for games. So I think I'm gonna start doing like a game pair and a practice pair
There
for
you go.
sure.
Yeah. Now, far as being on a Facebook group or is, however it is, are you corresponding with any professional goalkeeper that you can, Q&A with and so forth?
I think my biggest like help and source of information is definitely like my goalkeeper coach here at Marquette, Jennifer Want. She played college Division 1 college soccer at Baylor, and then she played professionally. So she is like an amazing coach, and she also has like a lot of information. I trust her that she'll guide me like where I need to go and help me achieve my goals.
Wow. And are you a believer to inform the ones uh, that are going to be following behind you that having a goalkeeping coach, you just, that is not just someone that you just follow and this and that. It's for you to entwine, for you to be able to feel as one, that you're bringing the best of what that goalkeeping uh, coach has to offer you onto the pitch, and you and the goalkeeping coach is understanding you to form the training best for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like, she's always asking me like what I want to work on, and like she knows what I need to work on too. So I think there's a good balance of um like everything that combines to make me like develop. But I think also just like we have a good relationship, like me and her, but also like our whole little like goalkeeper union at Marquette, which makes like it easier. Like we push each other, but it's also like we have fun while doing it.
Yeah. And are you a believer to say, hey, because that coach might have a different technique or so, use it, follow it, understand it, and just put it in your toolbox to understand. Don't automatically shut down saying, well, that, she does it or he does it totally different than what I'm accustomed.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be coachable and to like be not accommodating. I don't know the right word, but like to take in different perspectives and like at least try them once before you're like this won't work for me, but like you have to like be open, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that really means a lot, you know, that if it's always the coaching that's the problem. You got three fingers pointing back at you, you know, when you're pointing at the coach, there's three going back at you. You might be the problem. And so that has always been a benefit to understand that there's that you're not supposed to feel combative, and you're supposed to be calm mind and with a calm mind and a relaxed body, and a relaxed body in chaos. You know, I mean, do you envision? Have you already experienced it? That hey, there's just no, skipping and leaping, and you have to get there and be strong because they're going to beat you. Have you noticed a little ruggedness in the box area?
Yeah, I think even the jump from like club to college, like like college players will run through you. Like you have to be aggressive and you have to be strong or you will get taken out. So,
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. And, back in my day, it was, you put a knee up, Well, you got to watch out for stuff like that. The best way to do is to be able to be there and go left or right or over them, you know, try to avoid unnecessary contact.
yeah, I think like if you can, that's like best case scenario, but yeah, sometimes you do have to just like push through someone, which is hard and you have to just be strong while you do it.
Yeah, and I really like to do when you come out and you know you're not going to catch and hold, and so you come out with the two fists, and you got your knees, both knees up, and you got your body down, and boom, babe. I mean, anybody that's on the other end of you, holy cow, forget about it, you know. And if they're coming force at you, you have already gotten, you understand the art and science of goalkeeping, that you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And I think like coming back to that, like I think getting like a good punch in is like one of the most satisfying like feelings ever too.
Nice. That's goalkeeping union right there. Yeah. All right then. Oh, it is. And I'm 68. I'll be 69 at the end of May, and it never leaves you, Mia. I mean, you still, yeah. It's really something, man. And when you see a beach ball or something, you look left or right, you want to punch it, man. Uh, but that's all. It's really that. Yeah, you know it. So we have that. Now comes the deal of, can you understand that AI sometimes is wrong? And I just proved it this morning that your buddy, Coach Wales, uh, they talked about the third hand. Now, what is your definition of the third hand?
The third hand,
Yes.
like with AI. Yeah.
No, a third hand in goalkeeping, uh, skill. That what in goalkeeping, what is the reference to the third hand referred to?
I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
All right then. All right. I tell you, we're going back to school, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that teaching AI and you and all of our listeners, the third hand is in reference to your surface. So when you dive, you got your
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Wait, don't mean to interrupt. Yeah, I know it now. I know it now. Sorry, it
okay.
took me a second.
Oh, right, right. Well, that's your whaleism. You got to understand the whaleism and ba ba boom, ba ba bang. You know, you get you get down, but you get right back up. You know, you get now. So, uh, what would be your understanding of what the third hand definition means?
I think like when you dive and you like to make sure you secure it, like the most important thing is that you have like your point of contact on top, on the side, and on the bottom. And like the on the top and on the side would be your hands, and then your third point of contact and like your third hand would be the ground, just to make sure like you have the ball.
Yeah, and so if you're not on ground, you're indoor. You're on astroturf. It's the surface. If you're, you know, playing futsal or on the sand, it's the surface. Is that
Yeah.
and when you dive, you know the goalkeeping union knows that you gotta land. If
Hmm.
you're, you can't defy gravity.
That
So
would be crazy.
yeah, so there you are. Now you can use the ground diving way. You're outstretched with the hands, and you got your eyes behind your hands, and you catch the ball, and you're coming down, and you don't want the ball to hit the surface or your hand and you spill the ball. So you get up, oh, you put you move your head up over it and come down with gravity onto the pitch that where you were, whatever surface you're on. The ball hits that first with your hands over top of it, comes, and then the body.
Yeah, like kind of cushion yourself with
Yeah,
it.
and if you go up and you use the Franz Hook method of that you're enveloping your hands around the ball to bring to your chest and you come up in a fetal position to hit the ground, that ain't gonna, no ball's gonna spill from you there.
Mm-mm.
So the whole story goes is that many goalkeepers nowadays, they talk about parrying. Is that maybe because of the surface of the ball, or it's hit so much that catching and holding is not the preferred method? Have you experienced that yet, or understand any of what I just said?
Yeah, I think I think like my go-to is like I think it's always important to try and hold it and catch it if you can, because then like that instills confidence in your teammates that like wow, she's got the ball, and then like also just like keeping possession in that way is like it's really good, and it helps the team. I think a lot of the reason why people parry a lot now is like I think part of it is like wanting to like look cooler. Like I think sometimes like if you hold the ball, it doesn't look as cool as if you like parry it, oh like upper 90, like parry it away super far. Like I think a lot of people think that looks cooler, so they're like, oh, I want to make saves that will end up on my highlight reel, and that would be like a way to do it.
Wow, man, I thought it was because of the science of it that is so hard, but I seen clips that peas are coming at this goalkeeper, and he or she is putting the two mitts on, and it's glue, and
Hmm.
yeah, and it's just it has a different look, and it's kind of how I looked was wow, right, with the parry. But when somebody is very energetic to get to the ball and it just glues, it's it's jaw dropping. Holy moly! Did I just see what I saw? That's the type of thing. But you know the insights of it. You hear about it. Does do you at Marquette? Do the Eagles have a preferred method?
Yeah, our goalkeeper coach is always telling us like if you can hold it, hold it. So like that aligns like well with like what I believe too. Like I think sometimes like if I'm like maybe like I dive and like I didn't have the right steps or whatever, like then it becomes hard to hold it. But then it's like I need to change that so that I can hold it. Just because like what I was talking about with like keeping possession and like instilling confidence in
Yeah,
your team, like holding is such a powerful like tool for a goalkeeper to
ab-
have.
absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why you're in the goalkeeping Wales Certified Hall of Affinity. Now,
Thank you.
now how about this? You got 15 more minutes with me?
Sure.
Okay. How about the scoop method? Are you scooping to get, all eyes on you? Or are you scooping for a purpose, on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose?
Um, I think when I scoop, I don't like I am working on staying on my feet more. So I think just like staying on your feet and scooping it, like for me is just like part of like my technique. I I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's what. Feel free. We're here. As one. We're two, but we're in one. And the story goes is that yeah, you gotta be real, man, and that is the preferred method in the goalkeeping union. Is that the whole idea of scooping and falling down and somebody's got to say, please get up, please. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of silly willy kind of stuff, because there's always a purpose. And the purpose of you getting the ball is to have that secure feeling to instruct your team or to make that fast break and get an assist.
Yeah.
Have you experienced an assist yet?
I did once. Well, the one thing that time that I can like think that is very memorable was like back in club, where I got the ball and I punted it up to my teammate, like who was playing forward, and she dribbled and scored, and that was a really good feeling too.
Yeah, yeah, ain't no kidding. So you have that, and then far as the say for instance, Wales Certified says angles, balance, and communication. Can you understand and can you give understanding to goalkeepers about the angle?
Yeah, I think being in the right angle and having the right positioning sets yourself up for success, and it makes it easier to make saves that like if you're out of position might seem impossible. Like I think the biggest thing you can have as a goalkeeper is not like being able to go far, but like being able to get in the position that will set you up for the most success and make you able to make the save.
Yeah, being able. I've witnessed a lot of shooters are shooting right at the goalkeeper's belly.
Hmm.
And I was wondering, geez, I said, my gosh, man, why? Why would you shoot it in the belly? And, some people say, well, it's the uniform. It's kind of like a magnet. And then it's kind of like, well, you don't want to shoot You don't know how to shoot, so you try to get it in a straight line. And so if the goalkeeper is in the right angle, it will always go to her belly.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's like, especially with like the bright uniforms, like they just like, I mean, I'm not like a striker or anything, so like I can't really speak on that, but I think like I've definitely gotten a lot of shots like right to me, and I think that's part of being just like having the right angle, like you were saying.
Yeah. And I remember, having a lot of diving and then having the ball right at the 5 hole, the gate, and in my belly. Oh my God! Because that ball comes at you, man. It's not kidding around, you know.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and then the balance. Have you seen, felt, understood about balance more now than you did before?
Yeah, I think so. I think like sometimes like if I think the ball's gonna go a certain way, sometimes I fall and that's not good. So like just being able to stay on your feet and then like having that balance so you can react to the shot is very important for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and uh, under full disclosure, I had nothing but I'm going to stop this ball.
Hmm.
Every inch of every morsel of my body saying I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop. And for whatever reason, I looked at the shiny coin and I got off balance. And that ball didn't go very far that I could have stopped it, but I was off balance that made it physically impossible. And it's
Hmm.
not that I'm possible. No, this was totally impossible because I was off balance.
Yeah, I think that's like especially true like maybe in like just for example like a cutback scenario where they like play it across the goal and then you have to get across to match where the striker is, but then if you're not set and ready and balanced, like it makes it hard to react to the second shot, especially if they're going back the same way you came from because you're moving the one way and then you have to quick turn around, go the other way. So staying balanced and like that and just any other scenario is really important.
Yeah, and many times back in the day, you slide out that if you just stood in a regular set position, the ball would hit you in the face. But because the goalkeeper slid out, it went right over their face, right over their head into the goal.
Yeah.
So you believe in standing your ground until the last moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And that's something that I've been working on like this spring too. Is just like staying set and being ready and um not going too early or like, just being balanced and ready for the shot.
Yeah, because they talk about the technique. Well, the technique is part of passing or making the play, but you're making the best move at the right in the right way at the right time. That it all means something. The thought, movement, and action has to blend, three into one before the magic can happen. You know, you can't take one from two.
Yeah, no, they all work with each other.
All right, those good
Hmm.
diagnosis. You understood what I was going to say. Okay,
Yeah.
now come with the C, ABC, the communication. We'll close up when you give us the Mia Hurd of spring of 2026 interpretation definition of communication in Go.
Yeah, I think communication like out of those three is definitely something that I've struggled with the most, mainly with like being loud and like loud enough so my teammates can hear me. I think I've improved on that throughout the spring so far. But I think there's two parts of communication. Like I was talking about, like with being loud, like you have to be loud, but it's also tone of voice. Like you have to be commanding, but like calm, so that like when your teammates hear you, they like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Like I trust what she's saying. But then like you also have to give the right instruction. Like you have to give like the directional or like turn man on. Like you have to know what you're saying, and then you have to be like intentional with it too.
Yeah. Has your goalkeeping coach given you a terminology list of what the words to say, what not, the words that Marquette Eagles use?
Yeah. A few of the ones that like I've been trying to focus on the most are like squeeze, which is like our version of up, and then like drop and pinch. Just like I think those are like the three main things that I use like with the back line the most, and what I've been trying to really focus on, like from what like I've been given stuff, like incorporating into like my communication more.
Yeah, man. And I don't know what field you're going to go into, but communication, it's really, it's everywhere. It's everything. That the communication of how it goes. Uh, they had it's the Orthodox religions. Today's their Easter. That they believe that their Savior died and was risen today, and the story of how to communicate that. You say, man, you're telling me a story, but you're communicating it. How do you communicate it that someone would believe it? That's a science, man. That's an art, and that is something to work with all the time. And I mean to tell you, can you imagine you're behind the whale, a couple feet, and and this is almost like a life and death situation. You say, "Stop, whales! You have to give me words that I got to move my hand to go this way and my other to go that way, and to use one of my feet to open the door, right?
Hmm.
Because if I don't open the door, bad things are going to happen. I just, I'll be lost. But communicating it in a way that makes sense is unbelievable. You know, and communicating in a certain way that it's not what I said, it's how I said it, and it could get you into trouble or it could get you to understand everything. I even had one time some players turn around and say, "Wales, shut up."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and this guy was a professional that left in the next season. He's playing in the senior league, and and I'm telling them where to go, how to do it, and everything. Shut up. So I said, okay, all right, we'll have to try a different method with this. And are you, lastly, as you are right now, you have already stated that you believe wholeheartedly you made the correct decision. Is there a and it has been almost like a daily or a weekly review that you're going through and you're saying, hey, this is happening. I'm doing good. I need help for this, that. And you basically are okay with your journey.
Yeah, I love my journey. I like to like reflect on it, and like sometimes like I write down like this is like what I did this week, and I talk with my parents every night, so that's a good way to like recap my day and kind of think over it like then. So definitely like I've been loving this journey, and I'm excited to continue it.
Yeah. And Todd Beane He's the son-in-law of the great Johan Cruyff, Barcelona fame and so forth. That he's given me permission to use the Journey to Extraordinary, and that I think, and I would be thinking if I was listening to say, Mia, they had a Mia Hamm, you know. Are you familiar with who Mia Hamm was?
Yes, I am.
All right, and I'm throwing down, man. I'm throwing down that, hey, there's room for you next to Mia. That that the two names. When you say, did you mean Mia, the striker, the forward, or did you mean Mia, the goalkeeper? All right, all right. So, as it was custom, is to say, hey, Mia, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for.
All right. I think it's been pretty much the same every time. But I want to thank my family for setting me up for success and giving me all the opportunities I've had. Like without their time and sacrifice and like love for me, I wouldn't be here today. I want to thank my friends and like my teammates and my coaches here at Marquette um, for taking care of me and like being so amazing to me, and my friends back home too for like still like we stay in touch and we talk every day, and like that means the world to me that like I know I have the support system and I have people that care for me. And I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity and speaking with me today, and I've been loving doing these podcasts with you.
All right. And under full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, Mia's understanding the whale that, I didn't have to go through a lot of explanations. She's starting to understand. That's a good thing. All right, Mia. So the best to you and yours, and I'm looking forward for our next episode in a couple weeks to give the third episode. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much.
All right, Mia. The best to Mia. Bye bye.
Best to you. Bye.